Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught us 100% truth, man. You feel Akim and Akwati out there listening and learning, shalom to you as well. You cancel the likewise doctrine is Great Millstone, shalom. Salutations to the hopeful elect, man. As you can see, this little picture I got right here. Chicago's Cinco de Mayo parade canceled over fear of deportation, dog. See, y'all got more to be afraid of, man, than ICE. You know, because when Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai pulls up, hey, that's when you're going to have to meet your maker, man. You know? But he's slowly taking the mirth. He's removing the mirth from this place, man. You know, because you can clearly see, and people, I know y'all can clearly see that the vibration in America and in the earth, it's not right, man. The vibration is totally off, man. You know, you got a lot of hate being pushed. You know, you got people rising up against each other. The love of many have waxed cold. You know, and people are out here literally. Everywhere you look, you see people scrambling, trying to buy tickets, trying to go to the club, tickets for concerts. You know, they doing all type of different things, trying to escape reality, man. But one day y'all gonna have to look at reality for what it is, man. This place is not gonna go back to where it was. You know, it's over. You know, and y'all steady trying to go out here and hang out and chase that mirth, man. And the Father said that he was going to get rid of that feeling, that spirit in the earth, man. All that partying and bullshitting, that's over, man. You know? Need a couple of scriptures. I ain't going to make it too long. A brother just posted this, you know, and it just sparked me up to do a little quick walk and talk on it, you know? Because, and you Cinco de Mayo people, you see it's going to be a bunch of northern tribes out there, man. You know, and they scared of Esau. You know, but had y'all known these scriptures, had y'all listened to the brothers out here teaching this word, man, you will know who your enemies is and what time we living in, man. So y'all operating in the spirit of fear because y'all don't understand these scriptures and what's going on and why these things are happening, man. You know, so you can only expect it to get worse because the mirth is over, man. You know. Give me 1 second. Slack you. I'm just get straight to the point. Amos 8. Amos 8 and 10. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof of a bitter day, man. You know, you see that? So we get into that season, man, where all that partying and bullshitting, you know, the mirth that y'all seeking out here is going to come to an end. But, you know, a lot of you out here, y'all think this place going to continue, and you're going to continue to seek that mirth, man. And eventually, the end going to come, and you're going to get caught up in your folly, man. You're going to get caught up in your folly, point blank, period. You know? Like as I'm walking and talking, you know, everybody's moving around without a care in the world. You know, you got Donald Trump talking about martial law April 20th. You know, you got all these different things going on. And people out here living their lives day to day, getting ready for the so-called vacations. So I had to let that truck go by. It's kind of noisy out on this street. But yeah, they living their lives, living day to day, trying to get ready for those so-called vacations they getting ready for this coming summer, man. You know, and people been traveling all year, and planes going down, buses crashing, You know, a lot of people done died this year, you know, just traveling. You know, some Eves had a plane, got died in the plane crash. You know, a couple of other plane crashes took place this year. You know, but y'all still caught up and wanting to go on these airplanes. Not understanding that the spirit of judgment is flowing through the earth, man. The spirit of judgment is flowing through the earth. You know, and that's what's going to increase out here, them judgments. Remember that our spirit's created for vengeance, man. You know, so it's going to be a lot of death out here. Let me go get that. This is Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes in the time of destruction. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. You see that? So it's gonna be a lot of spirits created for vengeance out here going around laying people down, man. While y'all out here chasing this mirth, thinking that everything is gonna be A-okay, man. You know, being in that spirit of mirth is a very foolish thing in the times we living in, because we in a time of war, man. Physical war and a spiritual war. You know, it's a time to get serious right now. But like I said, people caught up in this world, in the ways of this world, in the cares of this world, in the cares of this life. It's going to get a lot of you people destroyed by Yall, by Hashem, Yahushai, man. You know, that's why we try to put all our time in these scriptures, giving out these edifying lessons, trying to walk the right way. Because in a minute, when that thief in the night come, a lot of you people gonna regret not listening to these brothers out here on these highways and hedges, man. Starting with the elders and apostles on down. You know? This is Matthew 24 and 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, man. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. See, that's what we headed into. You know, these people didn't know what was coming until Noah he got into that ark. And then that flood came and washed them all away. And that's what's getting ready to happen again. You know, Esau finna come in like a flood. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai also is going to come in like a flood to destroy this place, man. And y'all acting like that is all peachy. I know we sound like broken records, repeating the same things over and over and over again, bringing out the same scriptures over and over and over again. But there's people out here that want to hear this, that's just coming into this thing. So we got to do it over and over and over again. No matter how much y'all want to get mad at us for bringing it out. Y'all don't want to hear that Babylon is about to be destroyed. Y'all want to hear that everything is going to be okay and that life is going to go back to normal and there's not going to be any destruction. But newsflash, man, there's going to be destruction. And that spirit of mirth that y'all in, that's finna cease to exist, man. You know, that's finna cease to exist very soon. We coming in some very troublesome times, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. A time like never before, man. That's what we entering into. You see how this year started out? Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay at the heart. You see, the brothers that got that life in them, the scriptures, the Holy Spirit on them, they taking heed to these words. We taking heed to these words, man. We mourning. You know, we want to get up out of this place. We want to see Esau ass go down. We want to see you 2/3 Jakes and Eves go down. And we want to get the hell out this place. We want to see Babylon get destroyed. And that's coming. Either way y'all want to believe it or not, you know. You know, but all y'all just caught up in the murder. That's why I said it's better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. It's a time and a place for everything. Remember that. And we in wartime. A lot of people's lives are on the line. You see these missiles flying in these other countries. How much longer do y'all think it's going to take for when America get its turn? The old virgin daughter of Babylon is definitely going to get her turn, man. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the countenance of the heart is made better, you know. It's better to be in a sorrowful mind state right now because things are getting ready to take place. But we still joyful too because we know that we got next in the kingdom. Lord willing, I'm one of the men. Likewise with other brothers. You know? Ain't no time to be playing no games and laughing around and joking around, man. We're in a very serious time. You know? The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. You see that? A wise mind will be in the house of mourning. Why is that? Because we see that the destruction is nigh. A lot of us finna lose a lot of family members. A lot of us finna be put in dire straits. But the servants of the Lord will eat and drink in that day, while the rest of you out here pulling your hair out. The hair that you do got. Finna lose y'all mind out here. Because y'all not gonna be able to eat in that time, man. Or drink. Let alone know what's going on. Because you were too busy caught up in the cares of this life, man. Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day. Quit procrastinating, saying, let me get my bread first and then I'll get to the Most High. You see how you put the money before the Most High God? Make no tarry to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. And that's going to be a lot of you people's outcome. Because y'all procrastinating trying to get back to the Lord. And I'm talking about you rebellious ass Israelites. You know, y'all tarrying along, but y'all not tarrying to chase that bag. Y'all not tarrying to go out of town and to travel the world. You're not tarrying to go to that club. You're not tarrying to go to that concert. And in the day when you feel like you living it up and you okay and you secure, that's when that destruction gonna suddenly come upon you, man. Suddenly it's gonna come upon you and you're gonna be destroyed. We're telling y'all constantly, man. Proverbs 29 and 1. He that being often reproved, harden his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed. And that without remedy. You see that? Ain't no coming back from that. You're going to have to live with that regret. You have to be straight on this side. You have to come back in the kingdom in your right mind, man. That's what's getting ready to happen to a lot of you 2/3 Israelites out here. You rebellious ass Israelites. You know? But I just wanted to get that out here. You know, that's the things that you got to worry about. That's things y'all got to worry about. Chicago's Cinco de Mayo parade canceled over fear of deportation. You got our people out here moving in the spirit of fear. While the Lord gave us not the spirit of fear, man. So with that being said, shalom.